Hey guys, what's up? My name's Danny, aka Thrift Fish. I'm an online fashion reseller, so I sell secondhand clothing and shoes, fashion on Poshmark, eBay, and a couple other platforms full-time. And today I'm here with a recap of what sold fast in March of 2021, since it's now April. I do have the door open, so there's bird sounds. Hopefully that just adds ambiance. Yes, so I do one of these every month, and I'll not only go over my fastest sales in March, but I'll also go over my 5 slowest sales, so we can see both sides, but I'll be going over a couple more of my faster sales with you. We'll start with items that sold after 2 or 3 days of being listed on Poshmark and go down to items that sold same day. This is just Poshmark sales. I base this off of my Poshmark sales report that I pull monthly. So numbers are a little, they're not totally exact with this report, but this is a good idea of what sold fast in March. So let's go ahead and get into it. Without any further ado, if you're new here, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you enjoy this video, give it the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead. The slowest of the fastest sales sold after 3 days of being listed on Poshmark, and this was one of my favorite sales for March. This ended up in my I talked about this in my last video, my Friday sip and ship video. I recapped some of my top sales in March in that video as well. But this was a pair of Swedish Has-Beens leather rubber wedge Chelsea boots, and they sold on their own for $101, leaving me with $78.34. It does look like there was a small shipping discount there. The next item that sold after 2 days of being listed on Poshmark was a Torrid lattice neon one-piece swimsuit, just a really bright pink Torrid swimsuit. I picked it up. I was happy with how fast it sold. It sold for $30, leaving me with $22.50. So that's a really great fast flip for me. Next item also sold after 2 days of being listed was a pair of Hunter Kids silver tall rain boots. This was my first time selling Hunter boots. I didn't realize they were kids, I don't think, until I picked them up, but had no problem listing them. They also sold for $30, leaving me with $22.50. They had a little bit of wear on them and sold as is, so I was still happy with that sale. Next up was a pair of Madewell pointed toe Dorsey leather flats. Just a cute basic pair of Madewell flats, sold for $29, leaving me with $20.74. Again, solid sale. The month of March definitely picked up for me. I sold a lot more than I did in February, and a lot of these sales were for a pretty decent average sale price. So I am happy with the vast majority of these. Next up, and this pair sold after only 1 day of being listed. I was kind of surprised, but pleasantly, I was happy I picked these up. It was a pair of J Slides, black leather bow slip-on mule sneakers. Just a cute pair of slip-ons with a leather bow on them from J Slides. They sold for $29 as well, leaving me with $20.74. And just so you have an idea, my average cost of goods usually in a month is somewhere between $6 and $7. So next up, after 1 day of being listed, was an Intimately Free People lace sleep pajama shorts. These also, these came in my ThredUp 100-pound mixed clothing box. If you haven't seen those unboxings, they are both up on my channel. But they sold quickly for $28, I think full price, leaving me with $22.40. So I was very happy with that. I was surprised and happy. Next up is a relisted item. I am starting to pick back up on relisting. I left it alone for a long time. Now I'm slowly bringing it back in. A couple times a week, I'll go back and relist some things. But this is a pair of J brand Maria Serpentine skinny jeans. They've been in my closet for a little while, but once they were relisted, they sold very fast. They actually sold in a bundle. So I'll go ahead and add that information to the screen so you can see the breakdown. Next up, after 1 day, a pair of Outdoor Voices gray warm-up 7/8 leggings sold. They sold for $26 with a shipping discount, leaving me with $18.34. Outdoor Voices for me isn't as selling for as much as it used to. I don't know, I'm still picking it up, but I definitely think it lost a little bit of the oomph it had when it came into popularity in the resale market a little while ago. Next up, Lululemon. I sold a decent amount of Lululemon in March. This was a Lululemon Catch a Moment textured crew pullover. Sold after 1 day of being listed for $48, leaving me with $36.90. Happy with that for sure. Next up was a Free People Ottoman Ivory Slouch Tunic Sweater. I love picking up Free People oversized, slouchy, comfy sweaters. Sold after a day of listing for $32, leaving me with $23.14. Next, where did this come from? I think it just came from a general thredUP mixed clothing box. I do not believe that this wasn't in the big lot, but this was an Obey embroidered hooded utility pullover jacket. It was cute. I don't usually source Obey, but I do like Obey pieces. It sold really fast after a day for $28, which I was, again, pleasantly surprised with. And that left me with $22.40. So I think that sold full price. That's pretty cool. And the last item that sold after 1 day of being listed is another relisted item. It's an Anthropologie Holding Horses white lace up atoll midi dress. Sorry, that was a lot of words. And it sold for $29, leaving me with $20.74. So that was a good example of a relisted item being worth relisting. And next we're gonna move on to the last chunk of items that sold within a day of being listed, or same day. The first item was a pair of Lululemon Play Off the Pleats. Well, actually, it was a skirt, so it's not a pair of anything, but it was a Lululemon Play Off the Pleats skirt in washed marsh color. It sold super fast for $39. I think full price again. Very surprised with all these full price sales, and left me with $31.20. Next up, this one I think made it into my sip and chip video as well from last week, was a Coach Ergo Mini Leather Lavender Shoulder Hobo Bag. And that sold very fast, almost immediately, for $65, leaving me with $52. It was the first offer that came in, and I took it. Next up was another Lululemon piece. It's a Lululemon After Asana V-neck zip pocket pullover. It sold for $29, leaving me with $20.74. A seagull? I hear a seagull, or at least something that sounds like it. Next up was one that surprised me. I debated picking this one up. It's a Joie cotton linen button shoulder boat neck sweater. Joie can just be hit or miss, and this was a little bit of an older label, but I did pick it up, and it sold super fast for $29, leaving me with $20.74. Fine with me. Next up was a really cool pair of Wrangler for Urban Outfitters high bells, high-rise denim flares. Very trendy, very in style for right now. Sold very fast for full price of $50, leaving me with $37.54. Oh wait, no, there was a shipping discount. But I wonder if that's the first item that I used the automatic shipping discount for, because I did start to use that around then. So that might be why, because I remember it being a full price sale. Anyway, next up, we're getting to the last three items, fastest selling items. These next two were in a bundle. Looks like they might have been the same bundle, honestly. It's a moth ribbed full zip stripe sleeve cardigan. Yes, this was the same bundle, and it was a super cute bundle. I loved it. So I'll put that on the screen, the breakdown. So cute. I can be picky with my Anthropologie and with my moth, especially with the older styles, but if it looks like I think this had the updated Anthropologie tag too. So definitely a current piece, a really cute piece. And the next item that sold in a bundle, same day, was a Babaton contour V-neck peacock denude bodysuit. This thing was also just like, I loved it. I don't know. But that also sold in a bundle. Same day, together. I think they're from the same sourcing trip. But yeah, great bundle. And next we're gonna go over the last piece that sold same day in March. another good one, Universal Standard black Augusta Geneva dress, sold right away for $35, leaving me with $28. I think that was an offer that came in that I accepted. I did have this listed a little bit higher, was probably hoping for a little bit more, but again, $35 is a really solid sale for me. So again, I'm not really mad at it, and a lot of these sales were up in the higher 20s to lower mid 30 range, which is a really comfortable spot for me, especially if I can have a lot of sales in a month. So overall, very happy with these sales. Let's go ahead and look at the 5 slowest sales just so we can learn a little something, so I can learn a little something, reflect. Starting with the first item was an Anthropologie James Coviello, but I can't talk. James Coviello Botanica midi dress. This was in my closet for 174 days. It was new with tags, which is what convinced me to pick it up. It wasn't like, it's a little bit of an unusual or more older style for something I would list in my closet, but I did try it out. It sold for $25 with a shipping discount, leaving me with $18.50. I had sent out some pretty deeply discounted offers that day, and somebody took it, so I was happy to move it out. Not horrible, not the best. Moving on. Next up was a pair of Tom's Viv Pom Pom Crisscross slide sandals. And I know that these are relisted. This says they were in my closet for 189 days. They were probably there for longer. They sold for $15, leaving me with $12, which honestly, not a bad price for those little pair of sandals. They were super cute. They just sat for a long time. Next up was a J. Crew tie shoulder gingham cotton mini dress. I think this came in some sort of online sourcing box, some sort of bulk box, but I'm not 100% positive. It sold after 204 days of being listed in my closet, and it sold again. That one also sold for $15, but it had a shipping discount, so I made $10.50. It was a slightly older label. It was really cute, but we'll take it and we'll move on. I just scratched my face and now it's red. Okay, the next item, which I think I was surprised by, it was a pair of Fry sandals, but I don't know, they were a suede strappy platform sandal that had some wear on the suede. They weren't easy to photograph because they're that whole strappy tie around your ankle deal, so I think I had a stock photo up for a little bit, changed it to my photo. I don't know. They were there for a long time. This says 238 days, but that's actually a long time. That might be accurate. And they sold for $28, leaving me with $19.94. Again, not terrible for an average sale for me, but with Fry, I usually do expect a little bit more, but I guess it's fair for the condition that the sandals were in. I guess the price is okay. I probably just would have wished that they sold earlier on. But they're gone, they're out to a new home, done. Last up was a Show Me Your Moo Jen Lavender maxi gown. I think this was in one of my Friday sip and chip videos. I was packing it up. It was in my closet, I think for longer than this. It says 243 days. I definitely think it's been in there for longer than a year. Yeah, that particular moo gown, just not doing it. Sold for $22, left me with $17.60. It is what it is. So those were my slowest sales from March 2021. Again, I hope that this video was a little bit interesting, a little bit of an insight into what's selling fast for me, what's not. If you enjoy videos like this, again, definitely subscribe, click that like button. I put out videos like this every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.